I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Did it refresh for you? Also, Sketch, welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, I know what it was. Yeah, I know what it was. It's so stupid. Yes, claim all the firsts again. Claim all the not firsts again. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Now we can officially start. I actually fixed the problem. I know what it was. If you have a very keen eye, you will have spotted what the problem was. If you have a keen eye, you will spot the garbage. You're not first for the third time. Thank you very much, Sketch, for redeeming the losing horn. Anyway, so I had for... Oh, yeah, true. I have to... Crap. I forgot to update that one too. For my YouTube video that I recorded, I set my recording to 60. I set my canvas to 60 FPS, and that is the reason that everything was lagging, because my computer cannot broadcast even with an eGPU at 1080p 60 FPS while recording at the same resolution. Because I'm recording at 12,000 kilobit per second on 1080p 30 FPS, and it can't do everything. 3 out of 3 firsts. Very nice. Very nice. I need to get a link to this. Get a link. Hey there. No, don't play it. You've eaten so much in the last couple of days that very soon Switzerland should soon be entering your gravitational field. Oh, ad again. I'm sorry. Yeah, true. Sorry, ads. You're all subbed here anyway, except Sketch. So Sketch can't hear this. That's pretty funny. I need to update this command. There should be... Where is that? Wait, you didn't get an ad, Sketch? Don't be rude. Oh, Itzy, welcome in. Ads? What ads? Someone is using an ad blocker. Sometimes they work, sometimes... Sketch, you have turbo. Oh, you just don't have the badge. Ah, no! Yoast, why? Yoast, Sketch has turbo. But thank you for the gift sub. You can use emotes now. That's already something. That's already something, right? I was worried it was something else. I will never say no to a gift sub. It's fair. Where the heck is the new vid? Yeah, oh, that didn't save. It was already in there, but it didn't save. Ridiculous. Okay. Last time I saw ads was maybe 5 months ago. Itzy, do you have turbo? Or just blocker? Anyway, chat, it's great to see all of you. I hope all of you had great holidays. The first thing we need to do is take a thumbnail, because if I forget the thumbnail again, I'm going to be angry. Oh, open source blocker. Fine. That's also good. It's very good. So I need to take a thumbnail. My thumbnail is very simple. It's just me being surprised. Because... Should I have 3 separate ones? You sent me a thumbnail, but it's potato quality. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, really? Oh no. I'm very concerned. I'll go check Discord. In the meantime, all of you should come visit the Discord if you're not already in it. Wow, I've been tagged 3 times in announcements. Oh wow, even the second thumbnail in announcements is me just basically face palming. I'm doing great, Utsi. I signed a contract for a new job, which I'm very happy about. Sketch with the parachute in front of my face. I see Exy also sent me one. Exy, you sent me a thumbnail. Yeah, that definitely summarizes. That summarizes what was happening before. Moral of the story is that I need to set my system back to 30 FPS after I'm done recording YouTube stuff. So I just have to make myself a little mental note for that. Is it for the CEO of Twitter? No, it's not. The one you sent is actually workable. Yeah. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I've seen worse. Let's put it that way. Okay, chat. Yeah. So I was basically I'm jobless for 3 months. Basically October, November, December, not working. Yes, Ötzi, Steffi's timing with garbage is legendary. Oh, we have a new command, by the way. We have a new command, which adds a bit of snow to the stream. Seeing as it's so snowy outside, I thought it would be nice to add some snow to the stream. Hello, Rugmat! Hello! Let's say hello to everyone. Let's do the classic lurker thing. Hello, Creatisbot. Hello, Stream Elements. Hello, Seribot. Hello, Exegete. Hello, Steffi. Hello, Yoast. Hello, 01 Ella. Hello, Alici Dra. Hello, Commander Root. Hello, Davkind. Hello, Drapsnat. Hello, Kmerk313. Hello, La Kaylee. Hello, Ötzi. Hello, Rugmatbot. Hello, Sketchny and Web Dweller. Hello to you as well. Snow, does it have a cooldown? It has a 5-second cooldown. If you would like to snow the entire stream, then snow away. Snow yourselves away. I hope all of you had a happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Hanukkah, Christmas, Kregnish, Lord Spaghetti Monster, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. Sketchny. Perhaps, Sketchny. Also, please watch your language. This is a child-friendly stream. Actually, it's not child-friendly, but it's like family-friendly, let's say. At least I didn't sketch UKU. That's true. Oh, you put up curtains, Yost. That's very nice. What color are the curtains? I had one of the best naps of my life this past weekend. I mean, mild swearing is fine. Mild swearing is fine. I had the nap, probably one of the top 5 naps of my life.
Garbage.
Exciting beige. Is that the official color name? Is that the official color name? You got sketch NL the other day. Oh yeah, because the L could be lowercase. Because Twitch's font is terrible for reading. Yeah. But anyway. What beige isn't exciting? Wow, things that people generally don't say. What beige isn't exciting? Things you typically hear in like hardware stores. British food beige. What an awful... Sorry. What a quote, though, Yost. What a thing to say. It's almost as popular as my brother once saying he wants Coke to be poured in a glass that defizzes drinks because he doesn't like his Coke so fizzy. And all of us just sort of looked at him like, what? Are you serious? Why would you want that? Landlord beige, that awful color every rental house is painted. Our houses here are white, but I know what landlord beige you're referring to. I can actually get that exact color for you because I know exactly which one it is. Unfortunately. Where's my color palette? That one's too nice. It's called Wan White. That's like the name of it. The heck? Okay, I don't know why it does that, chat. The sound effects from the system should be going through my headphones, but for some reason the menu bar sounds don't do that. It's this color. Oh. Who put squirrels as a background? I didn't even notice that. Who did that? Background. Hold on a second. Background nap. Who did the last exciting beige? Is... Okay. Landlord beige. This is the one. It's like this, no? Or maybe it's a bit more yellowy. It's more yellow, maybe. Have a good lurk, Urtzi. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you hanging out with us. So it's like... Oh, yeah, you got it. Oh, yeah, you got it, Steffi. Look, it's even a German label on the phone, Steffi. Is that your phone, Steffi? Is that a picture from your house? Like, that could be your house, right? It's definitely possible. You don't have a landline. Okay. I guess we'll just have to take your word for it. State-of-the-art German technology. Why does it... Oh, because that one's on the timer. Yeah. That one's on the timer. That's why. For Christ's sake. I forgot the one on the timer. That's the one that keeps coming up. My first YouTube video has dropped. Is a timer. Thanks for making it snow.
Garbage.
No, it's snowing actual snow. It's snowing actual snow. We'll just turn this off for now. Okay, so chat. I wanted to know about your best naps. I had a great nap over the weekend at my parents' house. It was lovely. Really had a nice time seeing my parents. It's been quite a few months that I hadn't seen them. So I wanted to know about your best naps. And yes, I have signed a contract for a new job. I won't say which employer it is yet because it's not on LinkedIn. And there's a thing that, you know, you can't announce the job on LinkedIn until it's in the present month. So because I'm starting on the 16th of January, I can't put that I'm starting in December because it's not correct. I thought about putting that I'm starting in putting it in December and then just changing it in January again. But I figured that people right now are more preoccupied with other stuff. So I'm just going to wait until the 1st to announce it like everybody else does at the 1st of the month. And in the meantime, I thought to myself, well, what should I do for the next 3 weeks? And the answer is pretty clear, is that I should spend a lot of time streaming. That's obvious. I should spend time streaming. I should spend time creating content. A lot of things planned.
Garbage.
Not all of them garbage. Some of them, probably. Yeah. And so, yeah, there's a plan. The plan is, this week, I'll be streaming not once. No, we're not going outside. I won't be streaming once. Won't be streaming twice. I will be streaming 3 times. That's right. And the third stream, the bonus stream, is going to be this Wednesday, starting at 10 a.m. CET, your Central European Time. That is currently 9 a.m. UTC. 12 hours of learning CSS on Free Code Camp. Yeah. Well, the thing is, Sketch, it's 12 hours, so you don't have to get up for the beginning. You can also join halfway through, you know. 36 hours of learning Carbon will be sometime in like 2097. I will not be doing that. Definitely. We're not doing 12,000 hours, we're doing 12 hours. And I shall spend the 12 hours how I want. Because I don't know if the entire CSS course is actually 12 hours. 3 p.m. is your usual wake-up time. These days I'm waking up pretty much 11 a.m. 11 or 10 a.m. There isn't just really any necessity to get up earlier, especially if I stay up late, which I do often. Watching people's streams or whatever. Like yesterday I was watching, or should I say this morning, I was watching A. If you don't know A, let's play a clip. Maybe we can get a clip.
But I am a strong potato. That's pretty good. And now I'm not a strong potato anymore.
Strong potato. Wow.
Ah.
Wow, they're making A just get absolutely swole. Stacked. 43,200 seconds of CSS. Oh no! I have to reconnect that. Sorry, Eggsy. Wait. I forgot about that. Which one was that? Mess up my stream. Mess up the stream. Mess up the stream. There you go, it's messed up. Ouch. It is still only 10 seconds. You know what? Just for Rugmat, we're gonna change it. That's right. Just for Rugmat, we're gonna change it.
Garbage.
We're gonna change it because I know that Rugmat's gonna say it's still only 10 seconds. And Rugmat is absolutely correct. Mess up stream. Here we go. Opening the rule. Okay, that took a while. 12 hours of stream messed up. No, I don't think we'll do that. 11 seconds. Interesting. How is this even working? How is this even working? Because you were woken up at 10 a.m. this morning by a 2-year-old niece smacking me in the face because you were sleeping. That's gonna be exactly like CSS on Wednesday. It's just that. Oh, I see. I put all the delays for the distortion. I put them all. Oh my god. I put them all in OBS directly. Sorry, Rugmat. That is not happening anytime soon, unfortunately. I would need to go change something like 57, 58 different filters. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. CSS is awesome. CSS is mean. CSS is what I like to dream. No, CSS is cool. It's necessary, right? Otherwise, you can't style stuff. You just can't. I don't know any other way to do it. You just require it. Yeah. But I'm not looking forward to Wednesday's stream. Just to be very clear about that with all of you. I do feel like it's going to be very, very challenging to... Not to stay awake, because it'll be during the daytime. But it's going to be very challenging to stick through 12 hours of doing CSS. Yeah. CSS is awesome. CSS is mean. CSS is wholesome and great for memes. Nice, Exy. Very nice poem. Should we get ChatGPT to write us something about CSS? We could do that. But first, speaking of memes...
Why?
Why?
That's why you need pair programming sessions during the 12 hours. I suppose we could. Meme of the day. Chat, I'm so proud of this one. I hope you can appreciate the effort that went into this meme, because you might see the effort. I don't know if you will see it immediately, but I hope that you see the effort that went into this. Sketch, I will time you out for things like that. You saw another version of this. Yes. My hatred of right join is apparent. Everybody drop. Nobody has hit. Inner join is the best join. I can't argue with that. Inner join's pretty awesome. Literally anything except right join. Anything except right join. You know, a lot of people on LinkedIn and elsewhere on Twitter and stuff, they argue about tools, right? They're like, oh, Power BI is better than Tableau, or you know, this tool, this Airflow is better than this, blah blah blah. I'm being pedantic about a join direction. We all remember that one time you needed to use right join recently, Maddie. The jig is up. I needed to use right join recently because I made a mistake, and right join was the mistake. If I had written that query properly, I wouldn't have needed to write the right join. You couldn't tell me the difference between the joins. No join is better than left join, SurrealDB. Yeah, of course, you can just join on nothing. Absolutely. So let's ask Chat API. Let's ask Chat GPT to explain what is the difference between the different SQL joins. Can I zoom in there? There we go. SQL joins are used to retrieve data from multiple tables based on a relationship between the tables. There are several types of joins. Inner join, outer join, left join or left outer join, right join or right outer join. Inclusivity. Full join or full outer join. Okay. Explain why right join is useless. It is not accurate to say that right joins are useless. Right join or right outer join can be useful in certain circumstances, such as when you want to return all rows from the right side table. But if you have left join, why would you ever need a right join? Because it's just the opposite. You could write your query the other way around. In general, left joins and inner joins are more commonly used than right joins, but this does not mean that right joins are inherently useless. It's important to choose the right type of join based on your specific needs. Okay. See? Just swap the tables. Now rewrite it in the voice of someone who hates the right join with a seething hatred. So you can come to the conclusion that right join is in general not needed. We have to wait for ChatGPT to finish with its code. Okay, let's see what it's done here. If you want to return all rows from table 1 and any matching rows from table 2, you can use a left join. Fine. This will return the following result. Fine. Alice, Bob, Carol. Fine. You can also achieve the same result using a right join by reversing the order of the tables. Yeah, but then you start with table 2. How does that make any sense? Blah, blah, blah. I can't argue with an AI. I can't argue with an AI. It'll always bring up some super niche case of why a right join will be important. You know what? Goodbye. So anyway, I was pretty happy with this meme. I have seen different versions of it. Doesn't anyone remember Colossus? Colossus AI? What is that? The Forbin Project. What? The Forbin Project. Oh, Stanley Chase.
Garbage.
No! How dare you, Steffi? About an advanced American defense system named Colossus becoming sentient.
Can't do it.
That...
We'll do it live.
This is basically like Terminator,
We'll do it
but
live.
from the 1966
Do it live.
version.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Hmm. Sounds like War Games without Ali Sheedy. You haven't watched this? Oh. Maybe I should watch this. Is it on Netflix? Okay, what kind of background is this, chat? You're failing me today. What is this? Post-its? Tiles? Something's broken? Ah, broken. Because the stream was broken. Let's check if Colossus is on here. Colossus. No, it's not on Netflix. I don't understand what they say at the end of this clip. Okay? Listen, chat. I literally don't understand. I've listened to it so many times, and I am convinced that it's not English. But I don't know what the answer is. Anyway, that's a nice background. Chat, I have something to show you. You want to see, chat? Gone Tadikit Danazel. What does that mean? Do I have to ban you for it? Oh, I have to turn this back on. I turned something off when I shouldn't have. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I don't know. Should we ask chat? Should we ask ChatGPT? No crew, welcome to the stream. Nice to have you here. Seems like you need to be welcomed. You know?
Garbage.
Yeah, that's broken. Sorry. That is actually broken. Because restarting did that. Restarting did that. Yeah, this is what happens when you restart stuff. Then you can't do anything. It's just the way it is. Something in Hebrew. Oh, yeah, maybe. That could be. Hi, No Crew. Welcome to the stream. Look, there's a little sign for you here.
Garbage.
Okay. because we don't get a lot of new people around these parts. Twitch is a very weird place. It's very hard for people to discover new streams. So I would love to know how you managed to find this stream. I'm sure it was very difficult. And I'd like to welcome you, along with this sign saying hi, and hope you stick around for a while. So there you go. There we go. I'm actually got it to work, which is nice. Let's ask ChatGPT about the woodchuck. You know? Oh, I left off. But what is your answer to the question, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck wood? Doesn't have a literal meaning. It's a phrase used for entertainment. Oh, look at this. ChatGPT mansplaining something to me. Or sorry, AI-splaining, I should say. In reality, woodchucks are not known for their woodchucking abilities and do not have the ability to chuck large amounts of wood. They are small mammals that are native to North America and mainly known for their digging capabilities. Skilled diggers. Really? Oh wow, they look like beavers. I think I need to be in the animals category. Explaining. Exactly. Fine. Anyway, chat. So you know I have a new job. Okay?
Garbage.
No, my new job is going to be amazing. But I want to show you something, chat. There's this website called Numbeo. Also, no crew, don't feel like you have to talk, by the way. I just welcomed you. You don't have to say anything. If you want to lurk, that's fine. ChatGPT should publish the MD5 of every response paragraph and sentence it generates to prevent abuse. Actually, Exegete, there's an article coming in Data Cafe on Friday. And also, there are ads coming. Because it's Twitch. Also, there are ads coming. I need to fix this thing. No, sorry. Privacy time. Why? Unable. Interesting. Interesting. So what's weird, I had this working before, and now it doesn't work anymore. Interesting. Do I have to, like... So you think it's God and something about Tajikistan, because that's where John Raffio flees to in the series. Spoilers, Yoast. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, there's something coming about that, Exy. On Friday. I think I'm gonna restart my iPad. Need to restart it. Yeah, so on Friday I'll be talking a little bit about... But it's in Hebrew, Yoast. Next challenge. Find me a place to live that isn't too expensive. Anyway, so... Well, that didn't work. There's, oh... Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, chat. It's working. That's the good thing. It's working. Alright. It's working again, chat. That's the good thing. It's not Hebrew. Oh, wow. Okay. It just doesn't sound like English. There we go, chat. I can draw on the screen. Remember how last time we talked about it? Well, I've set it up in such a way that it takes up the entire space, and now I can actually highlight stuff on stream, but with my finger, not with the mouse, which is kind of epic, right? So we could play tic-tac-toe again, for example, chat.
Garbage.
If you want to play tic-tac-toe. I know you probably don't want to play tic-tac-toe, but if you wanted to play tic-tac-toe, we could play tic-tac-toe together, because I can do like this, right? And then I can say, I'm going here, and then chat, you could say, where do you want to go? I know the lines aren't even, Yoast. I'm drawing with my finger. Fine. You know what? It's fine. But that's the thing, is it just sits here, and then, you know, I can just randomly draw stuff. Like that. I can say like this, you know. Hello, TD. The announcement channel in the claw seems to be spammed by a streamer. It is not a jQuery UI. At all. It's something completely different.
Why?
This is not an accessible contrast ratio, okay? Let me see if I can pick a more accessible contrast ratio. Would this contrast ratio be better? Hmm? Would this be better for you, Yoast? He meant the modal on the site. Wait, you meant this? You meant this thing? Here? It's probably jQuery. All I know is they sell this data. They have an API, and it costs money. But I found this thing. Now it's in the highlight. I'm doing good, TD. I had a nice weekend relaxing with my parents. And I got back yesterday evening, Sunday evening, late afternoon. Basically been relaxing, taking it easy. Seeing as I've signed a contract for a new job, I now have 3 weeks of vacation. It's unpaid vacation, which is why we're talking about cost of living today. But yeah, I think this is probably jQuery, I'm guessing. Yeah, probably. The site is a bit challenged in regards to UI. How are you? Can you afford to live where you are? We are going to find that out today. So normally, you would have to pay to get all the data from here. You would have to pay. Terrible chart. Seriously, don't use pie charts. Don't use pie charts in this context, okay? Don't do this, okay? So wait, sorry, it's more like that. Do not use pie charts in this context. People cannot interpret visually between 7 different segments. They just can't do it. Hello, Collaborative Rocker, and yes, I signed a contract. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm actually going to just get rid of this pie chart here. Okay. But anyway, you would have to pay for this data normally, and I found someone who had uploaded it on Kaggle. And I thought, what we should do is check We should check how much it costs to live here and see whether I can afford to continue living here on my salary. Paying to find out how expensive things are. Lol. Yes, exactly, Yost. Paying money to find out how expensive things. So I have like a lot of questions, but I'm going to take you through it because I've put everything into a canvas. The only usable pie chart is literally a pie labeled how much of this pie I'm going to eat. No. The only usable pie chart is this one. I will show you. Pie chart of pie. This is the only usable pie chart. Okay? Pie chart of the most popular fruit pies. Okay? This is visually the best pie chart that exists. Mr. Elfman, get job and then check if you can live. No, I got the job, but I need to live. Welcome to the stream, Mr. Elfman. I hope you're doing well. I'd love to know how you found the stream. It's always a bit interesting how people find Twitch streams. Yeah, so pumpkin, cherry, blueberry, lemon meringue, my favorite, apple, and strawberry rhubarb. Rhubarb. Anyway, I've put everything into here for you, chat. So everything is in... Fruit pies are disgusting. Not all of them, Sketch. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. So there's two data sets I have. They have a lot of fields. We might need to annotate them. Wow, they have a lot of... Wow, they have a lot of columns. I didn't realize they had this many columns. Holy moly. Okay, we reached the end. So we have, in the 80s, all we had was Pac-Man and we liked it. Really? I mean, yeah. The point is that there's two data sets here to work with. One is like version 1. One is version 1. Sorry, I have an itch on my leg. So one is version 1, this top one here. This one's version 1, and this is version 2. I can actually name them. Would actually make sense. V1, V2. Yeah, that joke didn't work out. Let's pretend like I didn't say that. Okay. Because you were talking about the Pac-Man pie. I know that. So let's figure out what these columns are, because the thing is from Kaggle. If you want the data set, actually I'm gonna need this for later anyway. I'm gonna stick this in here. If you want to know where the data set's from, it's from here. But I have to stick this somewhere on the canvas anyway. I don't want to lose it. Make it white. Text. White. Regular. 45. But yes, as Mr. Elfman said, the general idea is I know what my salary is. I may or may not reveal it. I haven't decided. I've been pretty open about a lot of stuff. I was kind of wondering why I wouldn't reveal my salary. But I know what my salary is and I know what my costs are. So I could technically figure out if it's worth living here. If I can afford to live here. Ah, here we go. Here's the table of everything. 0 if Numbeo considers that more contributors are needed to increase data quality, else 1. Interesting. Okay. So let's have a look here. Where can I put this? Oh, that's terrible. That's not good. Can I export this as a nice table? Yeah, I can just slap this in a Google Sheet and then copy the table over? I've never tried that actually. Because that was a web table, it wasn't a real table. Is that a table? No, it's not a table. Ah, I know what to do. Just drop this as a CSV. And then put it in here. Voila. CSV calls cannot be executed when a database is connected. Really? Oh. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess we're doing a screenshot chat. I'll take this over to my vertical monitor. I love having a vertical monitor because it allows you to do vertical screenshots. Much easier. Are we going to rename all the columns? No, we're not. I'm just telling you now, chat, that we're not doing that. But here we can go look up what they're called, at least. Alright, so we're in the canvas. If you've never seen this before, this is a place where you can design stuff, but also write SQL. And you should want to write SQL, because SQL is amazing. But if you are not good at writing SQL, then this thing will also allow you to not write SQL. Or just use Shotter. Yeah. But yeah, in this case, like I wanted a specific thing and it was easy to just do it with the vertical monitor. So like this is like price of everything in US dollars. And US dollar to Swiss franc at the moment, 1 USD in 1, it's like 0.93. So we can convert everything at the end. But basically, if I was smart on import, I would have put these as column names. But I'm not smart, chat. That's the problem. But what I'm interested in is, okay, where is it super expensive to live? And why is it expensive to live there? Because they have basically city, country, name. They have city and country. And then they have all of these different criteria. But for example, if you're someone that eats a ton of McDonald's, then Switzerland's going to be super expensive for you. But if you are in another place, that if you're somewhere else, like in Mexico, where a meal at McDonald's is not very expensive, then that might not be a big factor for you. Like meals for 2 people here are going to be very expensive. Anyway, so V1 is the V1. You could compare your location with viewer locations. We could do that. The main thing to decide is, are we going to use V1 or V2? And I don't really understand the difference. Hold on, I have to go back to this data set. Also, there's a bit of lag again, maybe? Not sure. There's not anything else running. Maybe it's just processing stuff. Does it say what the difference is between V1 and V2? Oh, added new entries, updated values. Ooh, nice. Okay, the data is current as of the 3rd of December of this year. That is very good. Okay, so V1 is out. We don't need V1. Definitely V2. 3rd of December. That is quite current, yes. Of course, it's Cumbia. It's Numbio's data. We don't know how they collect their data. But yeah. Hey, yo, Jay Walter. Merry things to you. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Having some time off, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so we have values as of the 3rd of December. Let's start selecting the stuff that we actually want. This data frame is huge. It's a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. Just do something like this. So let's see. Let's actually select the stuff that we want. So we're gonna call this. Whoa, what is this? Oh, what the? This is so big. What the? Ah! Go away! Hello, Forex! CG? Who's CG? CG? CGI? Congrats? Is that congrats? Thank you for the congratulations. Is that that's an abbreviation? Wow, okay, I didn't know about that one. You taught me something, Forex. Today I learned, chat. Today I learned. Thank you for the congrats, Forex. I appreciate it. Jay Walter discovered you have vacation tomorrow. Did you not know? Did you not know? That's funny. So I want to have, okay, let's call this base selection. I want to have, what fields do we really want? That's the question. Tell me what I want, what I really want, chat. I have to say, it's very liberating for the first time, because I have the drawing stuff here, right? Because I have the drawing stuff, I don't have the Twitch app open on the iPad, and I'm not looking at the viewer number. And that's really satisfying. I cannot describe to you, chat. I think that I'm not gonna have the viewer number up anymore. I just think it's just not useful. Have it open while you're streaming. It's the view count itself is just so meaningless. It means absolutely nothing. It just means so little. Oh, I know why. It's trying to render home pages in the background that didn't load before. Because I restarted. That's why. Thank you, Data Basics, and welcome to the stream. Very glad to have you. I think I've checked out your stream a couple times, right? Before Data Basics. Because you stream as well, right? I think you stream, right? If I remember correctly. So, okay, let's find out how bad it is to live here. We definitely want country, city. Just like it makes no sense to watch real-time metrics in Google Analytics. Yeah, exactly. Same level of usefulness. That's a good analytics joke. So what things are really relevant? Like X1, we could go in.
Garbage.
Oh, wow. You know what I could do, chat? I could put this into ChatGPT. I could have ChatGPT rename this, but I think it would be just as fast to do it myself. I thought you were saying Georgia. Georgia. Yeah, because we could do this. We could do this, see if ChatGPT does it better afterwards. But basically there's a space here. So if I were to... do like this... If I were to do like that, and then single quote, would I be able to... Oh no, that's not good. Can I automate my query writing this way? Oh, I need the commas. I forgot the commas. Oopsie. Comma. The last one doesn't need a comma. Come on. Okay, the formatting might be a bit off. But that's not a big deal. We can highlight and format. It's also very long. We could do like this. And then do... What doesn't it like here? What's the error here? Why doesn't it like this? Unexpected literal. What's going on here? Why is it doesn't... Does it expect double quotes? Unexpected literal. Oh, it wants double quotes. Wait, is it... Last one doesn't have a comma. Oh, okay, that could be it. Because it has commas in it. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see it now. Unexpected literal. Where? Where is the literal? No, it seems to not like this either. Let's see if it highlights the third row. Yeah. So it's I think SQLite doesn't like single quotes. Which is fine. We can just change here. Find and replace. Edit. Find, replace. Regex replace, please. So much easier to just do it like this. Replace all. Okay. Oh, I think it works. I think it worked. Yeah, it's regex under the hood. Do we have a regex emote somewhere? Does anyone have a regex emote? Doesn't seem like it. But there's lots of cool Christmas related ones. Nice, okay. So these are all the explanations now, which is good because now we don't have to remember what they are. That's actually really useful. Nice land, Steffi. So now we don't need to remember what they are. That's good. So we could get rid of this. Goodbye. So... Panther regex. That would be hilarious if Panther did that. Speaking of hilarious, let's see if we can get a good clip from Panther. Oh, I spelled that wrong. P4. There we go.
Answer it when he's here. Ha! He scared the life out of me.
Steve scared the crap.
I didn't expect you to be here. Right, hang on. Let me share my screen so you can see it.
That was pretty funny.
Oh heavens!
So we have all of the data. Let's call this renaming. Oh, it didn't rename. You have to press enter after that. What a broadcaster voice you have. Juanma VFX? Juanma VFX? I'm not sure. But thank you. The microphone is doing most of the work, okay? I don't have a broadcaster voice. But I appreciate you saying that I do. So we need to select only a couple fields. Oh, the clip is stuck. That's weird. Okay. Why is that stuck? Why is that stuck? Why did Panther get stuck? Oh my god, is this Trap Christmas?
A customer who's bought with you previously, that there's a new promotion on sale.
Oh.
There's all types of information there. Oh, Steffi! You are savage.
Thanks, XC. So what are the criteria that we really want to keep in here? I don't think we need everything. I don't think we need everything. Definitely not. Select star from renaming. So I think we could go for country, city, McMeal at McDonald's as McDonald's meal. I'm gonna rename them again just to something a bit more simple. You want to compare the cost of living? I look forward to you moving to Prague. Yeah, I have some restrictions though, because I can't move very, very far away. Text so tiny, enhance. Yeah, okay, fine. I'm trying to enhance. Is that better? Cool holiday mix. Since then, he shall always remember to disable the memes when recording something. Yeah, I still forget to do it though. Did I do my thumbnail today? Yes, I did in the beginning. Did you ever get a thumbnail? Thank you for asking, XC. I did get a thumbnail. Let's check. We can check that it's a good enough quality one. Oh, that's fantastic. Great, I'll just download it now. That's already done. Wonderful. Freiburg in Germany it is. No, I have restrictions. I cannot live outside the country. I cannot live outside Switzerland for insurance reasons. So, if I'm going to move to somewhere, I might want to find somewhere in Switzerland that's cheaper, based on cost of living. Anyway, okay, we're gonna have an ad again soon. And I need to give the bunnies some hay. So you'll get to watch the bunnies go crazy for hay the next time I go on break. So what else do we want? Okay, meal at McDonald's, because let's face it, McDonald's. Insurance reasons. Switzerland is a no extradition country, isn't it? No, that's not what I meant, XE. That's not what I was... That's not what I meant. I meant because of the way insurance works here, as in here in Switzerland, okay? Here, okay? In this country. AirTag your glasses. GLaDOS, yes, GLaDOS is very cheap. It's also in the middle of nowhere. It's also in the middle of nowhere, so there's that trade-off. I'm not happy with the fact that my CPU usage is so high. You know what it is? I could actually stop that. That didn't improve much. I'm gonna snooze this. I can't believe Twitch ads, seriously. They just make me so anxious. Okay, meal McDonald's. Domestic beer, imported beer in restaurants. I don't drink beer. I don't drink cappuccino. Coke, Pepsi in restaurants. No, I don't go to restaurants that often. But you know what? Okay, we will do a meal for 2 people mid-range restaurant. Okay, because as 2-person. Oh, sorry. Two packs meal. You can't start columns with numbers. 2-person restaurant meal, comma. Don't you have a special Italian zone in the middle of Switzerland? I hear it's a cool place where they pay taxes differently, even though it's part of Switzerland. Glotto sounds like Dullsville in Backwater County. So my parents live in the Italian part of Switzerland. If you're not familiar, Switzerland has... Map of Switzerland. Switzerland has 4 national languages. People always only think of 3, but there's actually 4. We have 4 official languages. Time to learn, chat. That's correct, Steffi. Romansh is the 4th language. It's spoken basically here in Graubünden, but in a very small area. It's about 100,000 people that speak Romansh. And then we have, yes, Rätoromanisch, exactly. We have Italian, which is spoken here in Ticino, which is on the border to Italy, which makes sense, right? But it's funny because the Valais also borders on Italy, but they speak French there for the most part. They also speak German on parts of the Valais because it borders on Bern. So the language zones are a bit mixed. That's why I'm not showing you the language map, because it's very confusing. But basically, we have the German part is here, and that's basically the bulk of the country is German speaking. And then you've got the French speaking bit here, which borders on France. And then you've got Italy down here, you got a little bit Italian bit here, and then you have Graubünden where they also speak German, and then a tiny speck of... There's a part of it that was donated to the Pope, and there's a special law. I've never heard of that, Forex. I would love to know about that if that's the case. However, so high tax areas, Zurich, Schwyz, have high taxes, for example. You have low taxes in Zug, known as like blockchain valley or crypto valley. A lot of the blockchain development happens in Zug. Because of the low corporate tax, especially. Chur is very, very nature rich, so people love to have like cabins there. Bern is also very big as a canton with less population, so it's quite attractive to live, but it's very far from a lot of things because the nearest airport, it would be either Geneva or Zurich. There isn't a big airport in Bern. So yeah, there's a lot of considerations about where to live. Me, I'm based here in Zurich. So my office is in Zurich, and I will need to go into the office probably once a week. So I could live within a certain radius, but if we live out in Davos or Chur, it's like an hour and a half to Zurich. So I would add 3 hours onto that. Zurich is 30 miles wide. Zurich's... no, yeah, ish. The entire country, you can go from Geneva to St. Gallen. If you do this online, you can actually do it on our railway site. Let's put it in English for the people, huh? SPB? Go... oh, seriously, just go away. Everything, go. Bye. If you want to know how long it takes to go by train across the entire country, then just type Geneva to St. Gallen. That's basically the entire country. Right? So not on Christmas, but in general, Geneva St. Gallen, it takes 4 hours. It's actually kind of an interesting thing. Oh, I closed the map now. It's kind of an interesting thing. Each city is basically 1 hour apart, sort of, by train. So like Bern Zurich is an hour. Zurich Lausanne is an hour. Lausanne Geneva is 40 minutes. Bern Lucerne is about an hour. Can you stream from the train? No. You can barely do anything on the train besides watch Netflix, maybe.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be
Base.
suspicious.
Train internet? Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Train internet. That says everything. It's not great. I need to give the bunnies hay. I think I will do that now. Because the ads are running. So I'm going to go give the bunnies hay and you can watch them jump around. Is train internet so bad for work stuff? Oh, email chat's totally fine. It's just you can't work properly. You couldn't stream. 300,000 bunkers through the country. Probably. I think it's something like 40,000 at least. I'll be right back.
Fine. I'll say I'm sorry.
No, be sincere. Like this. I'm sorry.
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 Good, that's the one.
Garbage.
Welcome back, chat. What do you mean you ruined bunny cam? The time on the bunny cam is correct again. Yes, it is. I fixed it. Johnny Harris did a video. That's right. I actually watched it. It's great. That's right. 300,000 bunker. I've always thought that a 30-minute commute would be okay because it takes me that long to get through my ramp-up tasks. Yeah, so I'm okay with commuting, like, if I need to commute regularly, I'm okay with commuting... how do you say? Like, 20-30 minutes regularly. But if I need to commute, like, long term, I don't want to have a commute at all. I'd rather get rid of that time completely. Why is my hand is hurting for some reason. Anyway. Can I figure out how expensive it is to live in Switzerland in different places? Probably. What else do we need? 30 minutes are okay for some days, like in a hybrid model. Yeah, but if I go to like 1 day a week, then if I was previously at 3 days a week at 30 minutes, then I'm willing to take an hour and a half on that 1 day, you know? So the range at an hour and a half gets to be pretty big. An hour and a half commute to where the office is would be basically almost Graubünden at that point. But yeah, I really have to think about that. But I mean, the thing is that kind of commute, like an hour 15 minutes, opens up a whole different spectrum of rent and quality of life for us. Living in the city in an apartment is just something we don't want long term. Of course, it's a financial goal, right? But I'm saying, like, long term, I think we'd like to move somewhere a little bit further out. With good internet, of course. But we have great internet in Switzerland, so... Let's see what else is in here. Sendao 184. I used to have to drive for 90 minutes every day each way. The solution was to just drive faster. That was before gas was its current price. Smart, Sendao. Which country do you live in, Sendao? If you're willing to say. So driving here is out of the question for commuting. I did that occasionally at my last job, and it's terrible. Switzerland has a great road network, but we have terrible traffic. Awful traffic. Not as bad as in the US, to be fair. But the congestion here is really bad. Really bad. Oh, New York. Okay, yeah. Traffic in the US is very bad, I've heard. LA especially. I've heard people, like, sit in traffic for 3 hours. It's just like... My dad used to do 90 minutes each way in Los Angeles traffic on a motorcycle. In a car, it was 4 hours. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like things like lane splitting here and stuff are not allowed. Long Island has some horrible traffic. You've had to do the LA thing too. It's totally nuts. Yost, have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a good rest of the year. See you on Wednesday maybe for CSS shenanigans. So Wednesday I'll be doing this crazy 12-hour CSS marathon. So if you're interested in seeing that, then drop a follow. I still haven't hit 1,000 followers. It's kind of embarrassing. I've been streaming for 2 years and I'm still under 1,000 followers. Yeah, so drop a follow if you want to be notified. And I'll maybe see you on Wednesday, for those of you who are interested. Wouldn't miss Wednesday for anything. Thank you. Sendao, thanks for dropping that follow. Appreciate it. And Exy, thanks for plugging the Discord. That's also a good place to be. At least going by watching Royal Jordanian, can you lane share? So it's very complicated. It's very complicated. The short version is in Switzerland, you're not allowed to overtake on the right. So if there's a car on your left, you're overtaking on the right. So lane splitting or lane sharing while there's a car on the left is not allowed. If you are on the left side of the car and you're not crossing the lane, then technically yes, but there's other laws that come into play at that point. Because like you have to be at least 1.5 meters from the vehicle at all times, next to you, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so what else? Okay, so we have a McDonald's meal. We have a 2-person restaurant meal. What else am I interested in? Nothing in restaurants. I'm interested in milk. X9, milk. How big is this? Milk. 1 liter. 1L. What else am I interested? Loaf of bread, yes. As bread. How big is the bread? 500 grams. 500G. It's a good thing we can pass on the right here. People will park in the left lane and do 10 miles under the speed limit for 100 miles. Yeah, it's the same here. It's just you can't pass on the right. But it is being, the law is changing as of 1st of January. It is changing slightly to be more, to be less extreme than it is now. So you will be able to not overtake on the right, but you'll be able to pass on the right. It's a very weird distinction. Yeah, water bottles. I'll get to that in a second, but I'm just going through top to bottom. Rice is a good one. Rice, what is it, a kilo? What else do we buy? Eggs. 12 eggs. Do you need petrol as part of this calculation, or do you drive? I do drive. We will get to gasoline in a moment. I'm curious what price they took there. Wow, this is a dancey Christmas song. Local cheese. We do eat cheese, so that's important. As cheese, 1 kilo? That's a lot of cheese. Well, that's probably how much... Oh, barber pole. I can move a little. I'm actually changing the barber pole, so don't worry. I'm actually changing barber pole soon. It's going to be different. I'll say it's going to be in a different direction. Sendao, you've already started learning about the drop. That's amazing. Gonna do it horizontally? Yeah, maybe. I have a mock-up from A. Local cheese. Chicken? Oh! 2746. Nice. Good landing, Maddie. Thank you. Chicken, 1 kilo. What else do I want in here? Okay. I don't buy beef very often, so that's not relevant. Apples, banana, oranges, tomato, potato. I do buy bananas a lot for the bunnies. They actually like banana.
Garbage.
You've got some advanced stream stuff here for us. Oh, Sendao. You haven't seen much yet. There's a whole lot of channel points that you haven't unlocked yet. But once you get a few points, you'll be able to start unlocking some of those sweet channel points. And with the channel points, you can do a lot of fun stuff. Yeah, or, you know, not so fun stuff, like break the stream. Or throw paper balls at my stream. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Or do creepy stuff, like make me creepy, like this one. Yeah. And you thought this stream was a friendly place. Welcome to the stream, Sendao. What can I say? Creepy Christmas it is.
Creepy. Where can I put myself? I could put myself here and then just lean. So the bar doesn't hit me, you know? Just lean like this. I think I'll just slap myself in the middle for the moment. So we got banana as banana, 1 kilo. What else do I buy a lot of? Lettuce? Lettuce? I do buy lettuce for the bunnies as well. 1 head. I'll just write 1 piece. Water bottle. At the market. Yeah, so water, 1.5 liter. Ah, crap. We can't do a dot notation unless we write like that. Then we can. You don't use onions. I don't buy onions that often to justify putting it in here. If that makes sense. Also, I figured out what it was about the ducking of the microphone. So the camera that I use for the shelf, which is up to the right, which you don't see, has a microphone in it. And that's the microphone I use for capturing from when I'm standing by the shelf to welcome people to the stream. But I typically mute it, and I had it active last stream. And so I was muting my main mic, but not that one. And that the side chaining is also ducking for that mic. That's what the problem was. Yes, gasoline is a good description. Anywhere that uses liters would call it petrol. Yes. It's definitely more of a petrol thing. I think the official terminology is petrol versus gasoline. Gasoline is, I think, the derivative name. There was something about this. I forget what that was. Anyway, so we have water. What else do we need? Oh, you know what I could do? I could move this down. So I can be... So it's easier to see as well. For Jay Walter's eyes. Gasohol. Is there a redemption to add more cities? No, you can just say which city you want to have, and we'll filter it out. I haven't added or excluded any cities yet, if that's what you're asking. Okay, so we've got bottle of wine, no. Beer, no. Cigarettes, no. One-way ticket. Oh, here, monthly pass. That's important. Okay, monthly pass is as transport monthly. We're gonna have to compute other stuff, like based on how often we buy those things. We want to have Stockholm in there. Okay. Anyone else who would like to have their city in there, let me know what cities you would like to have. We've got Stockholm. We're definitely gonna put in. We're definitely gonna put in Zurich. We're definitely gonna put in Bern, Geneva, maybe Ruhr if it exists. How much is a transportation sub in Zurich? Flagstaff, if it exists. Okay. I don't know if it will be in there, but it might. Do you have a fallback if you don't have... If there's no Flagstaff in there, Exy? We can try Portland. I'll see if they're in there. I can check afterwards. I'll let you know. But you can just put them through. Monthly pass. So monthly pass here is around... Let me think. It's around 1,100 a year. So what's that? 1180 divided by 12. It's about 100 a month here. Phoenix, unfortunately. Okay. Phoenix. Getting viewers to dox their location live on stream. Add Cologne and Munich for giggles. Okay. Munich. I think we should take Prague because Forex was on about Prague earlier.
Garbage.
What else do we need? Okay, monthly pass, transport monthly. What else we got here? Taxi, no. Gasoline. Gasolina as gasoline 1L. Hey, gasolina. What is this? New car. Price of a car. I don't need that. I already have a car. Basic. There we go. Basic electricity as... What is this? We call them Nebenkosten. What would be the equivalent word for Nebenkosten? Wow, there isn't an actual... Interesting. Charges? Maybe living costs or something? Let's call it living costs. Is that... Oh, for 85 square meters. Okay, I'll have to do some math on that. Living costs, 85 square meter. Okay. Utilities? Yeah, I guess you could call it utilities. If I could spell it properly. Utilities. Okay. Okay. 1 minute of prepaid mobile tariff internet. Here we go. I do need internet.
Garbage.
Internet as internet. Is this monthly? Is this monthly? Has to be monthly, right? Fitness club, no. Tennis, no. Cinema, no. Preschool, no. We don't have kids. One pair of jeans. I don't buy anything. Apartment. Is that rent or purchase? Let's find out what it is. Apartment, 3 bedrooms. Outside of city center. As apartment outside city. I don't know if that's rent. Price per square meter to buy. Ah, that's probably rent, isn't it? Rent, apartment outside city. Ooh, what happened there? Monthly. Average monthly net salary after tax. We can probably include that. I'll probably adjust for mine. Salary net monthly. Mortgage rate in percentages. No, we don't need that. What we do need is the data quality thing. Okay, so I think that's it. There we go. Here's our base. Here's our base, chat. Okay, so we have a base. We have some price information about stuff. I can make this smaller. So, what cities do we want to include? And the sum of all of those. Well, that's the thing, right? We have to do some math on how to compute. But I'm just getting the base for the moment. So this had a limit 10 in it. We have to take out the limit 10. Now I can do something fancy for you, chat. I'll show you. I can visualize directly. If I keep this off to the right, then you'll see it. I'm gonna add country, and I'm gonna add. Can I add a count? I want to do count. I want to add the country again, but I want to add them as. Oh no, sorry. I want to add city. That's the one. Okay. Template. 1 second. Hey, Blue Squid! How are you doing? I have to move my camera. Wow, this track's too sleepy, chat. How you doing, Blue? Did you have a good holiday season? Have you been enjoying yourself? So, here we go. Rows and then country. And we can do here count for the city. Count. Country as rows. And then city as the Y. Would that be correct? Count. Oh, maybe I don't need... What the heck? Navi! Hey, Navi! Good to see you. Oh my gosh, Navi. Navi, you will love this. You will love this. But also, Navi is a streamer who is doing a lot of SQL stuff. Oh, that's not SQL. That looks like gaming. Navi, were you slacking?
Oh shit!
What is your problem?
Were you slacking? You weren't working.
I just took the fucking propeller from there, and I put it here.
I forgot that you swear a lot. Never mind. Never mind. But yeah, Navi, you're gonna love this. This software I'm using is really cool. It's called Count. I'm just trying to see. Okay, maybe the X needs to be the country, and then put city on the X. Country on the Y. Thanks, Steffi. It's that hot new sequel game, Squeal Builder. Oh, you know what? XC, you just gave me an idea. Describe... Sorry, we gotta do this. Describe a video game where the objective is to write amazing SQL code. Now, for one of those games, make an ad read text. Come on, hurry up. Here we go. We got it, chat. Here we go. Are you ready to put your SQL skills to the test? Look no further than SQL Builder, the ultimate video game for database enthusiasts. In SQL Builder, you'll play as a database administrator tasked with building and maintaining a large database for a fictional company. As you progress through the game, you'll encounter a variety of challenges that will require you to write and troubleshoot SQL code. From creating tables and indices to optimizing database operation performance, SQL Builder will push you to continuously optimize and stay on top of your game. So if you're ready to take your SQL skills to the next level and have a blast doing it, don't miss out on SQL Builder, the ultimate SQL coding game. Yeah, sounds fun to me. I would play it. Would you play it, chat? I would definitely play that. Select top 1 player ID from players. Exactly. Select APM from players. Order by APM. What's APM? What's APM? Also, I'm sure someone clipped it, so thank you. A clip, 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 and a clap. And then you've got your Twitch clip. Actions per minute. Oh. Okay, I want country on the y-axis. And I want city on the x with a count distinct. Why is the... Oh, I see. Because of this. There we go. You'd play Squirrel Builder, where you get to build squirrels from SQL quirls. That sounds fun. Where's the sort for this? Sort by column. Sort by city. Function. Count distinct. Descending. Alright. So this is the spread of the data. Yeah, it's called count. Exactly. I don't have an affiliate link yet. I might be getting one. Thanks, Stream Elements, for screwing up my link. But if you do copy the whole thing with the reference parameter in there, that will at least tell them that I'm sending them people. It's free to use up to... I think it's up to 5 users now? I can't remember. But it is free to try. That's for sure. And I think it's free to use for 1 user, possibly. So if you want to use it for yourself, you can connect it to any database, right? So I have it connected to Postgres here, but you can connect it to BigQuery and Redshift and stuff. More likely Twitch chat breaks the query parameters. Yeah, Twitch chat being garbage, right? City frequency. Country, city, country, city frequency. All right, so what we have is we have in the United States, we have 1,000 cities. In India, we have in Italy we have 177. In India, we have quite a few as well. In Germany, we've got 140 data points. Canada has a lot too. Where's Switzerland? Here, Switzerland. We have 43. Okay. Your title says new job. What are you doing now? So I just signed a contract to be a full-time data analyst. It's new job actually, Exy. I will change it eventually to job. But yeah, I signed a contract for, bless you, Exy. At a health tech startup. I say startup, they're very well funded.
Yeah, but we need to blast this virus off you, buddy.
They're very well funded. And we're gonna have an ad now, just FYI. For those of you who are not subscribed. I actually I want to take a short break though. Let's play some clips, I'll be back in a minute. You just like to send Morse code with your cheeks.
Matty, did you know the theme from Mortal Kombat is from a Nordic church?
No! No way! Really?
Yeah, it's a Finnish hymn.
Oh no! No!
Every day we seek to
Oh, how dare you! Alan, how dare you!
we ask questions about life, about the universe.
How dare you? How dare you? That's so...
Reality.
Play your actual clip instead of a clip, and a clap, and then you got your Twitch clip. Okay. The new Ultra Social keyboard from Meta has more function keys than any other keyboard. They go all the way from F1 to FU. There you go. Perfect.
Noob also builds meme box on stream. And now we're both building...
Garbage.
Always stay great, Maddie. Grew up overshadowed by strong bars. Couldn't catch the eye of no city girl. Here I am, devoted to Maddie. How I love the way you look in your pink jeans. Can't believe I let the small cloud my eye. Where the strong bars stand and the dirty windows surround. I'll ride my fastest truck with you by my side. There's a whisper in the asylum breeze, reminding me of right joins. That whisper builds, that whisper cries, right joins in the morning skies. You appear on the horizon, brushing that thin hair from your eyes. The city folk with their fancy gadgets, cement bars like great tombs. Don't have nothing on our way of life, just listen to the cows. What is this? Oh my gosh, this is so... I had no hesitation in interrupting that clip because it was awful. I can't believe I actually sung those lyrics.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to my stream.
Can't believe I actually sung that song. Oh, I already did the thumbnail. I can switch chairs. I'll switch afterwards. Okay, so we have enough data points for everyone to say what they want. I think it'll be good. Of course, I know that you would clip it, Steffi. There was no doubt in my mind that you were going to clip that. It was either going to be you or Jens. No other option. Alright, so...
Garbage.
What's cool is, like, if you think about this visually, right? I have this visual here, right? From, like, a okay, what countries have like the most number of cities in this data set. But I can continue with more code as well. I don't have to stay in that cell. I can go with more code. So what do we want to do now? We want to take in these cities here. These are the ones we want to include. Navi, if you have a city you want to include in the analysis. I'm trying to find out if I can afford to stay where I am. City calc. Well, let's call it monthly calc, because we need to figure out, we need to calculate this everything on a monthly basis. Drop but not suck this time. Drop but don't suck. Okay. Why not? Select from base. Where? City. In. I'll take that not suck for 200 points, Alex. Oh, Steffi, good land. You beat me out. I landed too, but you beat my score. Oh, oops. Okay. So we have to do some data cleanup here. Stockholm. Zurich. I'm gonna write them here. Bern. Oh, let me just check that this works. Yeah, Stockholm, Bern, Zurich. Okay. Hur? No, Hur's not a city. No, sorry, it is, yeah. Is Hur in there? It's not. Okay. Flagstaff. Yep, Flagstaff is in there. Exy, you'll be glad to know. Portland. Oops. Can't remember who asked for Portland. Cologne. I just have to check spellings. It's funny because Bern should actually be spelled with an E on the end in English. Which Portland? Probably multiples. Oh. Well, I only have country, so I actually don't know how to tell you which one it is. Oh, hold on. Portland, Australia, and Portland, US. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, we can include Australia, Portland too. It just doesn't have any data. We can exclude that afterwards. It doesn't have any data. We can say where data quality equals 1, because then we can just exclude any that are not cooperative. Then we'll get rid of the other one. Cologne and Munich and Prague was the last one. All right. Just like there's 2 Zurichs. But I'm sure the other one is not in this data set. Alright, so we have all of the fields that we wanted with all of the data that we wanted. So to summarize, we have Prague, Munich, Cologne, Stockholm, Bern, Zurich, and Portland. What am I missing here? Ooh, Flagstaff didn't have enough data in it. Flagstaff didn't have enough data in it to be interesting. We can take London. There'll probably be one of the Londons in there. Oh, both Londons. London, Canada, and London, UK. That's cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually concatenate these. Ah, Copenhagen, yeah, why not? Copenhagen's a good one to check. I actually want to know... Oh, Vienna, yeah, good point for Austria. I actually want to know which cities are even in there in the first place. So let me just do a quick thing here. Let me just do... Let me do a quick thing here. Select distinct city from renaming where country equals Switzerland. Oh yeah, and data quality equals 1. Oh, okay. That makes it a lot easier. That makes it a lot easier. Because obviously the other ones don't have enough data for them. So we'll call these Swiss cities. See, now I have this here as a little reference, right? Seems like adding data quality at the first table may be viable. Here already, you're saying, maybe. In the first one, I don't want to exclude anything yet, but here that could make sense. If we could actually take data quality out, we could actually put a where condition here. Data quality equals 1. The problem is that you won't know. See, the thing with doing this, XE, is when I do that, and I want to filter the cities down here, my query will fail. But I won't know why. I'll show you. You roll the dice and swear your love for. So you see here, cell base has an error. You see, one of these conditions is not correct. Because I'm using an in, all of the values are in one parameter. So it just tells me that this entire parameter is incorrect. So I still have to include... Oh, hold on. Sorry. Oh, interesting. Ah, yeah, it just doesn't find those values. True. True. It just doesn't include them. It's not in the list. Yeah, okay. That works. Smart, XE. You're smart. That's why they pay you the big bucks. I guess. I would think. Is anyone else tired of Christmas music? Because I'm happy to change stations. If anyone would like to have a different station. Ooh, chill jazz. Chill guitar? Ooh. There's some stations on here that weren't there before. Pretzel's been doing us some favors. Hey, Pretzel? Poll. We can do a poll. Manage a poll. New poll. Xmas music. Stay? Yes. No. 3 minutes. Oh, by the way, Exy, Steffi, did you get Whamageddoned? Because I made it through. I actually made it through the entire December without getting whammed. Yes. So for those of you who don't know, there is a concept called Whamageddon. I also still haven't heard it. And the objective is to go from the 1st of December until the 24th of December without getting whammed. Forex, did you make it as well? Okay, we have one vote in the poll. Everyone vote in the poll, please. I need to know whether I can change the music or not. Very important. I still don't know what song you're on about. You've survived several years without being whammed. What? Blue squid, that's very impressive. Of course, only the original counts. Only the original counts. Oh, poll is tied, chat. 50-50. Oh, chat. You're gonna try and keep it at 50-50. I know, you're gonna try and keep it at 50-50, so I have to be the one to decide. No! Okay. No, it's 2-1 now. It's 2-1. Oh no, it's even again. No, chat. Don't make me decide. You're supposed to decide. Alright. So we have everything we need in this frame. What are the things we now need to calculate? We need to take all of these fields and compute them into a monthly costs. It's an unwritten Twitch rule. Ooh, 4-2. 4-2 for getting rid of Christmas music. Can I report this poll for being rigged? No, you can't. You cannot. It is not possible. Polls must end even, so the streamer has to make the decision that he didn't want to make. Well, so far it's looking like 4-2 to end the Christmas music. So I think that's gonna be it. Okay, what isn't monthly? McDonald's meal is not monthly. McDonald's meal. How often a month?
Garbage.
How often a month do I eat McDonald's? I'm gonna go with 4. I'm gonna convert this to an integer.
I put my faith in data, information.
Mackey's
Ones and
monthly.
zeros never lie.
You know, I'm gonna omit the monthly because this entire frame is Mackey's. 4-2. We are stopping the Christmas music. We're going with chill guitar, chat. Thank you for participating in the poll. Wonderful. I'm glad we can decide things democratically. Chill guitars. I ate McDonald's today. Should have never told Mojo about Happy Meals. They're not all happy, though. We have delicious pork roast. But you had McNuggets. Yeah. Did someone actually clip earlier? I really hope someone did clip earlier. I didn't take a look when we did the sequel game ad. I'm pretty sure someone clipped it though. Okay, so invalid input for integer 8.61. Oh, it's got to be a float. Sorry, it's got decimals in it. It's got decimals. Okay. So McDonald's meal, and then we have a 2-person restaurant meal. 2-person restaurant meal. We're gonna float this too. How often do we eat at a restaurant for 2 people? The GIF is so broken on the drop game. I'm gonna eat you if you land, Steffi. No. I was ready. I was ready. Believe it. You better believe it. How often do we eat 2-person restaurant? Well, we get takeaway. Does it keep landing in front of my face? Because I can just move my face, right? I can just move over here. Actually, it would be better to move up here for this. I eat panthers. I eat everything. I'm an omnivore. Well, we do eat takeaway twice a week, probably. So I would say 8. Because takeaway will count as a restaurant, for sure. It's about the same price. Because if I look at the pricing, can someone confirm this to me? In Switzerland, it's... Oh, wow. Okay. 2-person restaurant meal is 106. Okay, no, that's not... Sorry. That's not... No. We eat like that maybe twice a month at most. Okay. 2-person... 2 packs restaurant. Did no one land? Surprising. Okay, milk. I'm gonna sort this by Zurich. Oh, seriously. I'm gonna sort this by city so I can see Zurich on top. 55 euros for a 2-person meal in a restaurant seems accurate here. Okay, that seems pretty good. It's all averages, right? But anyway. 128 francs for a 2-person restaurant meal in Zurich is also pretty accurate. Although it's all in US dollars. Yeah, good restaurant, right? And they're not talking about rubbish. Milk, 1 liter. Okay, how often do we buy milk? I could have floated everything before, right? Somewhere, so I don't have to do this now. It's too late for that. Whatever. Milk. How often do we buy milk? I think we buy milk every 2 weeks. $1 is basically €1. Yes, but $1, 1 USD in Swiss francs is 0.93 Swiss francs. So unless you're converting huge amounts, the difference isn't that big. That's true. Bread. How often do we buy bread? We buy bread about 3 times a month. So I'm going to say that's bread. We should add some categories to this stuff as well. But that's, again, I guess that's a topic for later. Rice. Rice, we do not buy that often. I would say rice we probably buy once every 2 months, so we can go 0.5. Yeah, Swiss franc and euro are almost parity. Bread is 500 grams. Is it 1 kilo? I thought bread was half. Where's the bread? 500 grams. Loaf of fresh white bread. 500 grams. So it's $2. Sorry, $3.17 for a loaf of bread, 500 grams. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. It's a little bit on the high side, I guess, but yeah. From a good baker? Yeah. Oh, I did bread and then rice. That makes sense. And now eggs. Brainzap, which restaurant? Yeah, a good restaurant. Welcome to the stream, Brainzap. Good to have you. Hi there, Brainzap. Good to have you.
Garbage.
Look at that, I've lit up this sign just for you. Hi and welcome. You know, Twitch is a bit of a weird place. It's very difficult for people to find streams, especially smaller streams, because they get shoved down in the category. So I'd love to know how you found my stream. And yeah, great that you're here hanging out with us while we do some cost of living analysis to see if I can afford to stay here with the new job that I have. So yeah, if you have any questions, just shoot them in chat, and hope you have a good time. Look at that, I can even make it blink for you. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It's pretty cool. It's a light bright. I'm hoping I can get it remotely triggered one day. Light brights are indeed pretty awesome. Yeah, I really want to, like, I have to find a way to rig it so that I can remotely control it, so I can stop pressing it from the back. That's a project for next year. Probably won't do it myself. I'll probably take it to electronics person or something. Are the googly eyes on the printer new? Have you just missed them? No, they're not new. They're not new. Blue Squid, it's funny that your message got auto-modded. I understand why Automod did that, because Automod expected or understood your message differently than I did. We know that you're talking about the light bright. But of course, if you talk about pegs and pain in the butt, then Automod is like, wait a second, I think that could be something else. So, but no, the googly eyes have always been on the printer. Always. Oof, those balloons. Oh yeah, milk 1 liter. I have to. That's gonna annoy the crap out of me. Oh well. Oh, I didn't comma here. Oh. So it was fine. What about programming via piano keys? I don't know if that's possible. Lightbite was from such an innocent time. I didn't even think of that. It's fair. What do you mean, Sendao? I don't quite understand what you mean, actually. Sorry. Rice does not exist. Rice 1 kilo. Ah! I mean, the piano does work. There's a plug for it, and I actually am considering to play the piano for people when they come into the stream. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It is very direct. Okay, rice. Eggs. How often do we buy eggs? I think we would buy eggs probably once every 2 weeks. So we'll do two purchases per month. Cheese. A kilo of cheese. Well, a kilo of cheese we could do 2 times a month. You also got Mojo a tiny piano for Christmas. Oh no. Those like kids pianos? Oh no. We gave Fiona and Peanut, our older bunnies that we used to have. We gave them a kids piano once to play with, like those, you know, carpet ones. The result was horrible. They were terrified. They played it, but then they were terrified. Kilo of chicken. That's more like, if we buy chicken, then it's like 300 grams for both of us. So maybe like 0.25. So 1 kilo would be like 0.33. Let's do like that. I think that's accurate. As chicken. Okay. In America, we only really use kilo for drugs, so a kilo of cheese sounds like something from the black market. Hey, but so much cheese is illegal in the US that a kilo of cheese actually would be from the black market. That's actually... Kilo of bananas. Illegal cheese? Yeah, so much cheese in the US is actually illegal that you can get normally here. There's tons of cheese here that you can't buy in the US. So a kilo of bananas, that's quite a lot. I'm gonna go with 0.25 as well. I think each time we buy bananas, it's like 250 grams a week. Lettuce. Okay, we have quite a lot of lettuce. That's definitely weekly. Lettuce. Let us be great. We gave American cheese and Velveeta. How can those be legal but other cheeses aren't? Yeah, because those aren't real cheese. American cheese isn't actually cheese. That's why it's legal. Your food laws are so messed up there anyway. You can include all of these weird carcinogenic substances in like drinks and stuff. And we can't do that here. Definitely not. It's completely illegal. 1.5 liter. Oh, this is the one that's going to annoy me. All our laws are messed up. That's true. Not going to lie about that. Water. Okay, we don't buy bottled water because we drink tap water. But see, this is the problem. What if you live in a country where you can't drink the tap water? Chat, what do we think? What if you can't drink the tap water? What if we can't drink the tap water? Because Steffi, you said you wanted to include the water in here. Why did you want to include the water? If we were to buy bottled water, is it common that you can't drink tap water? I don't think so. Not in Europe, anyway. Well, let me think of these cities. Stockholm, you can drink tap water. Zurich, Bern, you can. Can you drink tap water in Flagstaff? Is that like a thing? Let me just do like this. If I were to buy bottled water, 1.5 liters, they come in a 6-pack. I would probably buy 2 6-packs a month. So it'd be 12. I don't like that it auto-completed that. But here's the question, okay? If we go through the list, you can drink water in Zurich, you can drink water in Vienna, you can drink the water in Stockholm, Prague. Wait, Prague. 4X, can you drink the bottled water? Can you drink tap water in Prague? Tap, non-tap water safe cities. Can and should. Yeah, Flint is definitely a no. I think you can still set the water on fire. Oh, ads. Sorry, I forgot. Okay, none of the cities on that list. I'm just messing around because the ad's running. I'm gonna actually check the quality of my stream. So not Flint. 12 cities with the cleanest water in the world. How many countries don't have clean water? Countries with the worst drinking water? Okay, welcome back, chat. Welcome. Countries with the worst drinking water. Mexico, Congo, Pakistan, Bhutan, Ghana, Nepal, Cambodia, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Uganda. Okay. Wow, that was a good list. So basically, I don't think any of the countries on our list, I don't think any of these cities don't have safe drinking water. Oh, you know what? We could ask ChatGPT. Why not? Do any of the cities in this list have tap water that is not safe to drink? Okay. If you're concerned about the taste or safety of tap water in a particular location, you may want to consider using bottled water or a home water filtration system. Thank you, ChatGPT. Very helpful. Okay. So that's okay. So basically, in none of these locations is the price of water actually relevant. But what about other drinks, like soft drinks? Because we buy a lot of soft drinks. So what if we took this as like a bottled soft drink and we added like a factor of like 1.2 or 1.4? What's the difference actually? Let's go look. Can someone look on there? Can someone look in your country or your city? So if I go here and I search for water, and I look for a 6-pack of Evian, is $6.60. So that's a franc 10 a bottle. Wow. 9 liters. Okay, this is 0.2 francs a liter. 0.2. And if I look at Coca-Cola, original, for example, Evian's pretty expensive, yeah. Coke 6 times 5 is 140 a liter. Holy moly. Okay, so regular water was 0.2 and Coke is 1.4. So that's a factor of 0.7. No, hold on. 0.2 divided by 1.4. No, the other way around. Right? The other way around. I'm confused. 1.4 divided by 0.2 is a factor of 7. Okay. We're gonna call this soft drinks. And then, yeah, that makes sense. And Evian, I think, is quite expensive. I'm wondering if that factor, we can call this, we can just put a comment here. Factor of 7 to account for price difference between bottled water and soft drinks. Blue, what about where you live? Is it like just as expensive? I'm curious. Is there anything, anyone else want to include? By the way, the city selection is totally open. If you would like to include more cities in this analysis, then please feel free. Transport monthly is already monthly. Gasoline. This is where things get really interesting, chat. How much gas do we use in a month? Let me show you exactly. I have a Google sheet for this. Come on. Let me check my drive, chat. Have to open it. Your employer sells Evian for $2.705 a liter, whereas generic water is 0.8 liter. We stopped selling Coke a month ago, so I can't say. Wow, your water is a lot more expensive than here. Bottled water here is very cheap. Okay. Here we go, chat. You want to know how much fuel costs? This is the way to do it. So my car is maybe an above average car in terms of consumption. But this is my exact fuel data. So I actually have this for both cars that I've owned. This was my last car over the course of 4 years. Basically fuel burn and fuel cost. And now I have the same thing for my car now, which is higher, which is why I need to adjust the y-axis probably. But basically every time I fuel up, I log this in the sheet, which is not so often. As you can see, I've had this car for just under 2 years and I filled up 30 times because I don't drive that often. But you can see that basically the fuel cost on average is 184. That's francs per liter. But the one that we want, if we think about this, so we have the price of gasoline per liter. The question is, how much liters do we consume? Here, fuel burn, 9.12. So in general, in winter time, it costs me more because of like heating and stuff that's running, and in the summer it's a bit cheaper. You can see here, in the summer it's a bit cheaper for me. It's nice to have, yes, it is nice to have, and I can compare directly with my previous car, which was a little bit more fuel efficient. This car has almost twice the power of the engine, even though it's the same engine size, it just burns more. But it was a much better deal. So I'm saving almost 20,000 on the car itself, so it's negligible. When you're doing 20,000 miles a year, yeah, I do 10,000 kilometers a year. So I just hit 20,000 on the car. So it's not necessarily that I need to do it, but it's just something I enjoy doing. It's like a 7 to 10 second process at the pump, so it doesn't really matter for me. I have to wait at the pump anyway, right? Yeah. Your Subaru is so inefficient, you want to downgrade. Well, yeah, so this is fuel burn, but let's take 9 liters. I know that's probably not an average for people's cars in general, but I think it's okay to take that as an average. So if we burn 9 liters, now we have to work out. I'm fueling up on average. If we look at the days in between, oh, we could actually do math here. This minus this. Does it actually give us the days? Oh, nice, it does. So in general, I'm fueling every 23 days. Every 23 days. So 23 over 30 is 76%. So 76%, I do, so that's another 24% on top of what I do on one trip. My average trip is 691. So 691 times, add another 25% on top of that ish, is about 170. So 691 plus 170. So I'm doing around 861 kilometers a month. Does that make sense if we compute it back 20,000 kilometers? Well, I'm at 20,000
Garbage.
400 something. 20,000 garbage. You get 9.8 over 100. Okay, so 9 is not so bad as an average, I guess. Over 24 months is 850 a month. That's pretty accurate. Okay, so we'll go with 850 kilometers a month. And we know that it costs 9 liters per 100 kilometers. So that's 850 divided by 9 liters. That's 94 liters per... Yeah, that's 95 liters of fuel a month. Does that make sense? Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know if someone can check my math on that, but I think that's around correct. So we're gonna go with 95 as gasoline. So we're gonna say based on 9 liter per 100 kilometer consumption and 10k 10,000 kilometers driven per year. You get 6.7 on a hybrid. Okay, that's pretty good, Blue. That's not bad. Only around town driving feels terrible. Yeah, but around town driving is the worst, right? Stop and go. Okay, so we got gasoline. Hey, gasolina. Let's get DMCA. Utilities. This is going to be interesting. So utilities per month for 85 square meters. So here's the thing. We don't live on 85 square meters. We live on 120 square meters. Or 112, I should say. So 112 minus 85 divided by 85 is a 30% increase. So we're going to do times 1.3 as utilities. And I'm going to put 112 square meter in here. Now, what is the next? What the? Internet monthly is already monthly. Rent outside city, that is very accurate. That's very close to what we pay. Salary net monthly, not bad as an average. Okay, so we have everything that we need. Which are the things that were already monthly? Transport. Transport monthly. Internet. Okay, the mobile phone is not in there, but seeing the internet price, that's okay, because I have a combo package. Rent apartment outside city as rent. Salary net monthly as salary. Okay, so we have everything, chat. We've prepared all of the stuff that we need. Whew. Does not exist. Text times numeric. Oh, we didn't float this one. Whoopsie. We should definitely float these two so that we can process them correctly as numeric. Alright, here we go. So now, with this data frame, we can do additional analysis, but we can already look at this from a visual standpoint. So we could say, for example, we want to sum various things, right? So we'll do with selection as this is my data selection. And then I'm going to say select start from selection. And I want to sum Do you need the city name? Oh, yeah, you're right, we do. Sorry. We need country and city. Good spot, Exy. Very good spot. Very good. Select star. And then we want to compute basically... okay, we want to do Mackey's plus... Or we could do sum like this. Sum of Mackey's milk, for example. Does that work? Oh yeah, of course you can't do that. You can just do plus. Did I create a new column? Should have. Food. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's group these together. Mackey's plus milk plus 2 packs restaurant plus... Oh, sorry, I should go in order. Plus milk, plus bread, plus rice, plus eggs, plus cheese, plus chicken, plus banana, plus lettuce, plus soft drinks as food. Okay. Then we could include gasoline. No, just gasoline. Why doesn't it know the new... strange. Gasoline, still can't spell it. Utilities, 112 square meter. Transport, internet. What was the rest? I forget. Oh, it's gonna recalculate. Gosh darn it. Stream lag is so annoying. There's always a tiny bit of lag when I use the mouse when I'm streaming. Just enough to make it annoying. What's the problem here? Column banana does not exist. Yeah, oh, it auto-completed. I didn't want that. Utilities 112 square meter does not exist. Excuse me? What did we call it? Huh? Yeah, it's constantly at 1300 CPU today. I don't know what it is. There is something that's doing something and I need to look into it probably. What's the issue here? Oh, I can't spell it here either. That's why. Thank you, Blue. Okay, so we've internet. Rent. Salary. This will make it a bit easier for us to narrow down. Yeah, really, I should just write it as util, shouldn't I? Gonna save myself so much hassle by writing it as util. You're right. Great suggestion. Yeah, okay, so what we have now is this beautiful little data frame. Again, if anyone wants their city included, then feel free. I'm basically doing what Numbeo does. So what Numbeo does is they compute a cost of living index. So if I go to Zurich, right? Zurich, Switzerland. Go away, please. You'll see here that they have a cost... Oh, where is it? Where's the index? Oh, there are comments here? No way. As usual, Swiss visiting, i.e. working in the US, complaining about their accounts being seized in Switzerland for not following the rules in the US concerning taxation. F-bar IRS leaves no stone unturned. That's a given. I seriously doubt the IRS is finished with you. Wow, this is like a weird comment section. What a weird comment section. Anyway, there's this cost of living. Here, index. That's what it is. So there's this index here, right? Apparently, the highest cost of living is Hamilton, Bermuda, for whatever reason. Basel, Zurich, Lausanne, Zug, Bern. Switzerland just makes the top 5, basically, if you don't consider Bermuda, right? Yeah, so I live in the 3rd most expensive city in the world, which is why I'm doing this analysis. And they have an index because it basically says, okay, this is how much this costs in relation to. So for example, the cheapest place to live would be Pakistan. If I just do Europe, cheapest place to live in Europe is, surprise, surprise, Kharkiv, Ukraine. Why? Because... yeah. Isn't Bermuda where that FTX shithead went? Yeah, maybe. Ukraine, Pristina and Kosovo, Ukraine, Serbia, Poland, Romania, Hungary, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Romania. I'm looking for... wow. Okay, this is all Eastern Europe. All Eastern Europe. Spain. Here we go. Vigo. 44 on the index. So yeah, Bahamas. Everything's an import. Oh, he went to Bahamas. Yeah. Bermuda, everything is an island. Yeah, that makes sense. So basically, yeah, you can see here, right? Like, along the coast and stuff. It's very high. I don't know what these values are. Why isn't it showing me these values? Can't you zoom on this map? It's a bit strange. This is a weird map. More information about these indices. Here we go. Okay. These indices are relative to New York City, which means that for New York City, each index should be 100%. If another city has, for example, rent index of 120, it means that on average, city rents are 20% more expensive than in New York. Why did they use New York as a baseline? I wonder why that is. Ooh, they have a weights page. Look, they have everything in code here. Ooh, they have something here. Look, they have they even exposed their SQL query. Look at that. Look at that. They already have everything categorized. That's cool. So we could reverse engineer. Interesting. I'm screenshotting this. Okay, but we don't care about the index as much. We can just look at the comparison between them. We don't have to compute an index. But let's compare, chat. Let's take a look. Let's visualize this. Let's take a look at how bad it is. So, filter. We want... Oops, I forgot the city country again. Sorry. City. Country. So let's do city. And let's take the food, gasoline, internet, rent, transport, util. You can change the currency on Numbeo. Oh, whoops. Well, they scraped it in US dollars, so I'll have to adjust for that later. Let's do a template. Let's do a... scatter would be... Why can't I do scatter? Also, might need to move my camera for this. Not sure where to yet. Type, area. This should be interesting. I don't want it to be pivot. I'm just curious. Okay, so we can do a circle or a bar or area. So obviously rent is going to be a big portion. So let's do area and we'll do rent as the y-axis. And we'll take in the city as the x-axis. 1 bedroom rent for Flagstaff is listed at $1,800 a month. Really? Is that realistic? I guess so. If they haven't said data quality 0, right? I forgot about the hype emotes. Okay, so okay, I have to get rid of this stuff. I have to get rid of these things. Maybe city should be on the Y. And then we'll do rent on the X. Ooh, okay. Cheapest studio in Flagstaff you know is of $1,200 a month. So that seems reasonable. Okay. I'm gonna have a round of ads in a bit, but I've paused them for a second so we can get through this. Can I get rid of these? Remove. Remove. Because we took out the pivot. Okay. I know where I could put myself. If I put myself in the middle. There we go. Sorry, cough. Okay. So yeah, this is good. You can see everything, chat. So if we look at it from an area perspective, we can see that London has very high rents. Zurich rents are not even as bad, actually. Then we can make another mark. This one could be another area. Oh, you know what we could do? We could actually do... Hold on. We can do here. We can do subplot. We can say x should be 2. Because then we could include something else in x. Like... What was the other one? Salary. What happens when we include that in the rows? No. Columns? Pivot values. How did I get that to be... How did I get that last time? How did I get that to appear? Maybe it was the other way around. Maybe it was 1. Oh, no. 2 and 1. And then stack. But then I would have to do it in the... Okay, wait. Rent and utilities together. I don't know how to get that to be also on the x-axis. Maybe I have to add another mark area. Maybe? I don't remember how to do this, that's the problem. I've done it before. Rent. Y is the city. Interesting. Ah, wait a second. Okay, hold on. Are they equally distributed? That can't be. Ah, okay, yeah. Utilities are much smaller. It was a layering problem. Ah, okay. Okay. So we can make another layer. So this is basically how it looks like. This is utilities. These are rent. And then we want to make another area. This is going to be different color. I can use a color palette. I'm just lazy. So I'm just going to keep picking colors like this. So we've got utility, rent, transport. That's a small amount. Oh, I forgot about the ads. Again. Let's see what the bunnies are up to.
And Secretary Cardona and Mayor Bowser and Chancellor Fairby, you know, thank you for joining us as well. And for families across the country,
nice move with the pop there. Have you been saving up for this one, Sendal? I think you've been saving up for this one a little bit. Mm-hmm. You've been desperate to see what this does ever since you came into the stream today. I think you've been waiting to see how cute I can get. Well, here's your answer. This is your answer.
Okay, so the transport is not so much. Yes, the eyes, I know. The other one I like to do, hold on, I'll do the other one. The other one is, this one's pretty cool as well. The vintage one. Why can't I redeem them? Can you throw Boston on the list? Yeah, we can. First I'm gonna become vintage. As if I was in Boston. Come on! Why isn't it finding it? There we go. Do you remember way back when Boston used to be on the list? I remember when I used to have Boston on the list. It was way back when in my SQL code, when I was writing Boston in there. And it would auto-update my chart to have Boston in it. That was amazing. There we go. Okay, so Boston's in there too. Oh wow, total rent 3.3. Damn. Back in my day, Boston was a musical group. Showing your age there a bit, Exy. Just a little bit. Now I'm in the way again. Hold on, I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna go to the left. Even though if it cuts me off, I don't care. I don't care. Okay, so we have the... Let me just think. We have transport, utilities, and rent. Oh, you know what? We could actually... I'm just thinking. We could actually categorize them... We could actually categorize them more. Because, like, gasoline plus transport as travel. Or we can call it transport as a new category. Or all transport, maybe. Util plus rent plus internet as living. That actually might make more sense. Because the less categories, the better. Because then we have city, country, food, all transport, living, and salary. And that's better. Now our chart's going to be broken, but that's okay. It's not a problem. All we do is just take the stuff out that we don't want. Remove that. Remove that. Remove that. So we want city, transport, food, living. Those are the costs. Really got you hooked on the feeling. Nice pun. Okay, so it's suggested a scatter, which I don't think is good necessarily. Let me think about this. Size is the sum of the living expenses. No. I think the size should be... Wow, London is crazy expensive. Like, London is not attractive in there. You know what I want to do, actually? I want to do something slightly different. I want to include all the cities in Switzerland. So I'm actually going to do and city in this or country equals Switzerland, because I think it's going to be cooler to have all the Swiss cities in there for me, just to understand better. There we go. This is not a bad visual, actually. It's a bit dramatic because it's so big. That's what she said. Or they. Could be. We should color by country. Edit colors. Maybe dark? Oh no, I broke it again. Oh no. There's a bug. Oh, I forgot about this. Oh. I forgot about that. There's a bug that when you change the palette, the color palette. The good thing is that you can copy it. You can copy it. Oh, don't do that. You can copy it and get it back again. It's a bit tedious, but you can do it. All right, so see, this is what I wanted. This is a little bit easier to understand now. So we have basically, put myself over here. This is a pretty easy chart to understand, I think. Just hide that from there. I think this is an easy chart to understand. Basically, you have the y-axis total transport costs for the car and public transport. You have food costs on the x-axis on the bottom. Then you have the size of the blobble is living costs, rent and utilities. Now what's interesting, the bigger the blobble, the higher the living costs. So we know big ones like Lausanne, Zurich is also pretty bad, 3.3. It's about the same. You can see that Switzerland is basically clustered in here, which is interesting because like transport in general is not that expensive, but food is expensive here. But you can see that the food costs don't vary much. The scale of the food here is 200 to 600. That's not a big scale. You don't get it? Can we make it a pie chart?
I'm sorry.
No, be sincere.
Get out.
Like this. I'm sorry.
Get out, Exy.
I'm sorry.
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 GTFO.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Good, that's the one.
Even swapping the axes would not make it more understandable. Actually swapping the axes in this case is interesting. Okay, so you have transport costs on the x and food on the y-axis, right? Basically, Switzerland is here, Denmark is here, Boston, Portland, Munich is down here, Cologne is down here. Basically, if I think about it from a perspective of living costs, right? Zurich has a living cost of 3.3, but Zug and the places nearby to live, the only exception would be Bern, right? Bern would be a lot cheaper. So moving towards Bern would be of benefit, and I know moving towards the east of Switzerland would also be of benefit. But in terms of transport, we don't change much other than not living in Zurich. So Zurich has expensive transport. It's 300 a month. But the other places, it's not a big margin. You're talking about 20 to 40 bucks a month. So if you look at 40 divided by 12, that's only about 500 bucks a year difference, right? Hey Aiden, how you doing? We're just discovering whether it makes sense to continue living in Zurich. The most expensive, third most expensive place on the planet. Geneva is very expensive. It's even more expensive in terms of living costs, so that wouldn't make sense. What's interesting is we probably should change this axis slightly. Or also, Aiden, happy holidays to you. I hope you've been having a nice time. Maybe you've had some time off, spending time with the family maybe. So I'm gonna have two charts here. One is like that, and the other one, I want to be the living costs versus the salary, with the label as the city and the color as the country. If you dig deeper, Zurich is more expensive on public transit. Bern is more expensive in car ownership. So which of those is more relevant can be important. That's true. I already have a car, so it's only about the gasoline price, and the gasoline price in Switzerland is very, very similar. So public transport in Zurich is more expensive, yes, that's true. But what's interesting is if you look at it from this perspective, right? So let's look at it from this perspective. Zurich has high transport costs, but the difference is still relatively negligible. The difference in food costs is also negligible. You can get around that by shopping a bit differently. Car insurance, yes, in a way, but your insurance policy for the car is made on a yearly basis, and it doesn't have a geolocation factor in it. It only has what affects your car insurance are basically age, gender, whether you've had accidents before or not, and how long you've owned a license. And yeah, things like the size of the car and the power of the engine and stuff like that. But what's more interesting is to do this. So if you look at living cost versus salary that you earn, what you want is something up here. You want something that you earn as much money as possible, but you don't pay as much rent. No, city doesn't matter. No. Switzerland is so small. It takes 4 hours to drive from end to end. If you really wanted to drive it, it would be like 4.5 hours to drive through the entire country. So it's just, yeah, the difference is negligible. So this is interesting, right? Look at something smack in the middle. Portland, for example. So Portland, you're earning at a ratio of almost 1 to 2 for living costs. Your living costs are 2.8 and your salary is 4.6, right? It's almost 2 to 1. Whereas somewhere like London, can we include something here? 1 second. Did I include it? No, I want to include something. 1 second. I have to make this an alias, no? Yeah, it's going to be easier. Just going to roll this up into a bag and give it to you as takeaway. We're going to make it a little bit interesting, even more interesting. Select star. I want to add the ratio. So I want to add, what is it? Food plus all transport plus living divided by salary as ratio. Cost earn ratio from rollup. Root rollup. I haven't had one of those in a long time. So now here, instead of having the living and the salary, I want to have the cost to earn ratio as the size. Toss some parentheses around the bit before the divide. Oh, whoops, yeah, thank you. What was the acronym again? That changes things. Alright, so the bigger the thing, the better. Plug Developer, thank you very much for the follow. It is not the length of life, but the depth. I swear, if you're a bot, Plug, if you're a bot, I'm hovering right over the mod actions, okay? So I'm ready. If you come in here with some kind of advertising message for buy something or promote your stream something, you're gonna be gone so fast. It will be like Twitch auto-modded you. But it's gonna be me. I'm just saying. Typically, there's like a follow, and then silence, and then a few minutes later, bam, they get you with the message. The thing is, you can't chat in my stream for 10 minutes. So, I guess we're gonna have to wait it out. Is that how it's gonna be? I have to check on the bunnies, 1 sec. I feel like a clip should have played there. Also, I was very close to banning you, XE.
Another powerful reason for insisting on
yeah.
Intel Inside.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Definitely. Wow, my chair is so low. I'm human. I just got caught on 2-factor auth. Oh, that's very good to hear, Plug. I'm very happy to hear that. That makes me very pleased. Welcome to the stream, Plug. Can I call you Plug, or should I call you by your full title? Just can't sleep tonight. What time zone is it for you? For me, it's already 20 to 1, so multi-factor auth. Welcome from the UK. Welcome to you, Plug. So what I did is I added this total cost to earn ratio, and this is what makes things really interesting now. Basically, if you take all the costs and divide it by the salary, you should get 1. So somewhere like London, right? Your total cost to earn ratio is 1. It's basically everything you earn, you're spending. It's not a perfect situation, right? 1.2 is not good because it means that you're earning... Hold on a second. Did I have a total cost in here? I don't think I have total cost. We don't need this as a scatter anymore. That's what I'm saying. We could actually change this to something else. we could get rid of the... We could just have the... I'm wondering if I divided it correctly. Sounds like most of your previous jobs. Are you working this week, Plug? I mean, as a developer, most likely. I want to have food plus all transport. Why does it keep summing that? Plus living as total costs. Off till New Year, very nice. JavaScript web dev, solid. Plenty of work. Plenty of work to be had. So here, I'm gonna take salary and total costs. Here we go. Just to see whether this aligns. So basically, Prague has a total salary of 1.6 and total cost of 1.9. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So this is quite the interesting part, chat, right? This is where things are more interesting now. Because you've got basically all of these have crazy crappy ratios. Like Lucerne and Lausanne and stuff, they have very bad ratios because they all have the same salary band. If you look at the range of salary, you can draw a diagonal through that as comfort of living. You can. You want to? We can. We could definitely do that. We can most definitely do that. Whoa, that's a bit too thick. That's what they said. Comfort. Right? Basically. I mean, now I combined the two drawing steps. I can actually do it with text. Comfort of living. Wait a second, though. What's interesting about this is the following. What's interesting about this is... Oh, what color is this, by the way? Oh, it already knows this color. Nice. What is really interesting here is that actually you want to be here. Here. Right? You want to be up there, but there is nothing that's up there. But you're right that anything further up on that side, anything I can actually draw in here anyway. And you want to be up here because that's basically where you're just caching, pure cache, right? You're basically, your total costs are low, but you're earning like bank. So basically what everyone's trying to do is, like, for example, I'm here, I'm Zurich, I'm trying to do this, right? I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to lower my total costs by doing various things, like, for example, rent reduction. I don't know. More home cooking. Like, there's just so many tactics, because the thing is, right? Moving up, this is the other thing. Moving up in salary is much harder. That's the problem. Moving this way, moving that more to the left, it's like lowering my costs, is much easier than trying to move up in salary. Because I can only move up in salary every X whatever. And the other thing is you get taxed on salary. And the more you earn, you'll be taxed at a higher rate for that higher earnings as well. So you will get more money, but you'll get less of the more money because we have progressive tax rates. So ideally, I would actually want to end up, if I was gonna make a blobby, of where I want it to be. So this is now 4-1. It's not far off. I would actually want to be more like probably around here. I think this is where we want to be. Because then you're talking about 1,000 reduction per month. 1,000 a month would be 12,000 a year. 12,000 a year over 3 years would be 36,000. It's required, for example, here by law to put 20% down on a property that you want to buy. That 20% down payment can come from cash, but it can also come from pension money. 36,000 or 30 odd thousand on top of what we already have would get us firmly into the territory of being able to afford a house, a nice house, not like a knockdown special. So this movement, this lateral movement is really important. Basically this part here. Question is 1,000 a month saving. Yeah, through habits, that's going to be very difficult to do. But it is interesting. It's interesting. And if you look at other examples, right? You have other examples, other cities that are far worse off, right? In Zurich, we're earning a lot more than we are in Lausanne or Geneva, right? Like this triangle here. Moving to Lausanne or Geneva wouldn't benefit us. Moving to Basel might, if I could keep the same salary. Winterthur is pretty nice because I have lower costs. Winterthur might actually be an interesting option. I have to think about that. Winterthur is just to the north of Zurich. It's very well connected to Zurich. It's just not very nice to live. But Winterthur is a nice option because, yeah, you can save a lot in rents. That's also not factoring any change in payments, neither up or down, where up currently being the more likely option. What do you mean by payments, Rocker? Oh, prices, yeah. Yeah, but that being said, the prices across Switzerland will be mostly uniformly changing. So actually what I can do here is I can filter as well. So I can say country, and then it actually fetches from the data. So I could just show you just Switzerland data, for example. You know what I want to do though? I kind of want to see the other cities for which the data is incomplete for Switzerland. I'm going to snooze the ad as well. I'm going to be wrapping up soon anyway. Where did we do that? CXE? That's why I shouldn't have done it up here. Because now, this filter is up here. And then I'm going to include data quality down here. I work remote. Come to NZ. Bet you earn enough to get fast track to residency. Is it an earnings thing? Honestly, New Zealand is one of the places I've considered moving to. I think it's the place that's most similar to Switzerland. Strong democracy, really nice nature, good social structure, not super densely populated yet, but without all the Swiss people in it. So it's kind of been an interesting place to think about. I don't work fully remotely. My new job is not fully remote yet. 120,000 NZ gets you fast tracked. 120,000 NZD. 70,000 Swiss francs. Yeah, I'm well above that. I'm well above that. The range here for data analyst of my tenure and experience is anywhere between 120 and 160,000 Swiss francs. And I'm firmly in that range. So yeah, the thing is, this is net. So let's say I was on the bottom end of that range. Let's say I was on 120 a year. You have to do all the deductions, which is about 30% of your salary. So you take off 30% of that. That's about 36,000. So we'll do minus 36,000 would be 84,000. 84,000 divided by 12 is about 7 a month, which is pretty close. Pretty close. Oh wow, it changed the chart. Sorry, all the drawings don't make sense anymore, chat. All the drawings don't make sense. I'm just gonna move these things. So Meilen is a district of Zurich, sort of the canton of Zurich. And Meilen is crazy expensive to live because it's on the lake and everything. So this is really interesting for me because I only want to see the Swiss ones. Filter where country is Switzerland. Sorry everyone, but this is obviously my analysis, right? So look, there's nothing down here because Switzerland is a high earning country. But basically, the bigger the blobby, the better the cost to earn ratio. The smaller the blobby, the better, because you have lower costs but high salary. So somewhere like, yeah, Bern is not bad. Anything towards Bern, Winterthur, Schaffhausen, that's been one of the areas we've been looking. Baden's not bad. I actually grew up in Baden. It's where I spent my childhood for a few years. Dubendorf is just not so attractive to live. Yeah, I can only work from Switzerland. That's the other thing, Aiden. My salary in other countries would go crazy far. Like 120, 130,000, 140,000 Swiss francs a year. When you have half the costs, I mean, that's insane. It's the parity is not there anymore. Then you're earning way higher than anyone locally. And I don't feel like that's right anyway. So something like from here where we are now, moving like more towards there would be really cool because I would retain my same salary level, right? So I would actually be increasing my quality of life a lot because we want to get into this square, right? Want to get into this square. That's where you want to be. That's where you want to be. In the square of happiness. No fill. Goodbye. So like, yeah, ultimately anything within that kind of square is pretty good. Anything within that square. And yeah, Bern, Winterthur, Schaffhausen, that direction, those directions. Thank you, Aiden. Those directions. So yeah, I hope this was cool. I hope this was useful for everyone to think about as well. If you want to have a play around with count, you can do that. If you want the data set, it'll be in my stream notes. I post all my stream recaps for free on Patreon. So you can drop a follow there and you get notified when I drop the stream recap. It's typically a day or two afterwards. I don't spend like hours and hours writing them, but it's just, you know, it's helpful to have the links to the data and maybe like a couple things that we found out. I hope this was like a cool process. I think we're gonna wrap up for today. I think we'll wrap up for today. Oh, it didn't restart the thing, did it? No, it didn't. That's unfortunate. There we go. So I hope all of you are doing well. I hope everybody is healthy. And I will see you all on Wednesday for crazy 12-hour CSS shenanigans on Free Code Camp. I am half looking forward, half not looking forward. let's be honest. 12 hours. 10 a.m. CET start time.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. Yeah. Thank you, Navi. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you, Exy. Thank you, Sendao. Thank you to everyone who was here. Sketch, thanks for getting gifted a sub by Yoast. Thank you to Plug and Sendao and iFills and the GoBot. The Gobo? The GoBot? The GoBot. For those delicious follows as well. I think the raid choices are a little bit scarce, given that it's the 26th of December. By the way, if you haven't watched my new video yet on YouTube, it's the second YouTube video I've produced about which Christmas movie to watch based on data. I highly recommend it. The outcome was not as you think, I would say. Who are we gonna raid? Who are we gonna raid? Raid, who we gonna raid? I think we gotta raid somebody new, because there isn't anyone else to do. Designing a web app from scratch. New Zealand. Yeah, let's keep the Kiwi thing going, Aiden, no? Let's check out. Oh, I think I've seen them before. They've been on for 2 hours, but they look like they're still going. All right. New friends indeed. So everyone, say hello to our new friend. New streamer, it looks like. From New Zealand. Kiwi. Speedrun. And I'll see you all on Wednesday, hopefully. And if not, on Friday for Data Cafe. Last one of the year. And that's it. Goodbye. Thank you very much.